Tengok mo, tengok buku ni tengah menari dia kat sini. Siap dengan anak dia nari. Sekejap kita try pasang lagu tengok. Okay, nama burung ni adalah woodcock and dia dijumpai dekat Amerika. Diorang buat macam tu sebab diorang tengah nak meniru irama air hujan jatuh supaya cacing keluar pada tanah. Yang anak tu tengah nak belajar tu. Yeah, dia tengah nak belajar macam mana dia rumah? Macam ni. Aha.
Oh my god, just shut the fuck up.
I think more people need to know that we do actually know what color some dinosaurs were. We know that a lot of dinosaurs had feathers, and some dinosaur feathers have been so beautifully preserved that we now actually have fossilized melanosomes, which are organelles within pigment cells that determine color. The important thing is that the shape of these melanosomes correlates with the color of the feather, and we know what shapes mean what color by studying modern-day dinosaurs, birds. So based on the shape of these fossilized melanosomes, we know that Microraptor, for example, which was a dinosaur that had a wing on all 4 of its limbs, was covered in dark blue or black iridescent feathers, kind of like a crow. And Sinosauropteryx, for example, had a striped tail. I mean, these are dinosaurs that went extinct tens of millions of years ago, and we know what color their feathers were. That is so cool.
Anyone who's ever even heard of evolution before has almost certainly seen a diagram like this one, where you have some sort of monkey that just levels up into a human. As someone who studies evolution for a living, I hate diagrams like this. They are the worst. Let's go over several reasons why. First of all, this type of diagram was first developed back in the 1960s by a guy by the name of Rudolf Zallinger. It was meant for popular science writing, just to sort of give people a general idea of what scientists were actually saying. This was not meant to be anything actually educational. And yet, it is used in educational publications all the time. And that's really dumb, because it promotes orthogenesis. This promotes the idea that humans evolved on purpose, that there's some sort of grand goal for evolution, that evolution is some sort of ladder with a top rung up here that is humans, and that all the other apes are just kind of waiting in line hoping to become humans someday. That makes no sense. None of that is how anything works. Also, this type of misinformation breeds more misinformation, because I get asked all the time, well, if this thing's still alive and this thing's still alive, where's all the stuff in the middle? This thing isn't alive. They made it look like something that you can recognize to kind of help you understand it, and they've actually hurt you, because this isn't alive. Whatever this is supposed to represent, Sahelanthropus, Orin, or whatever, that's also dead. All of these are dead except for this thing, and there's also like 10,000 steps in the middle that they didn't include, and there's also things that broke off, and there's also things that broke off and then came back, and they just decided not to put any of that in there because they wanted to make it look like it was something purposeful and intentional when it's not. And the biggest problem about this is that this kind of nonsense breeds distrust about evolution. Because people look at this and they say, I didn't come from this chimpanzee or spider monkey or whatever they put in the background here. And you're right, because chimpanzees and spider monkeys and all that stuff, they're actually up here on the front with us. They came from this thing too, and they have a different trajectory with all sorts of other steps and all sorts of other branching and ramifications and all that you're not seeing because they just left it off because they wanted it to be human focused. Saying that this is how evolution works is like saying World War II was a serious disagreement. It leaves so much out that it's not even useless anymore. It's actually harmful. So if you ever see something like this in one of your textbooks or something, call your local evolutionary biologist so that we can scream about it, because nobody deserves to have to suffer through this.
Lo siento en mi cabeza, me duele hace varios días. Mis palabras se me enredan, no hablo bien todavía. Mis ojos mucho me pesan, se acaba la salud mía. Y nunca pensé que caminar luego me costaría. Me decía un viejo, mientras sus ojos lloraban, de esa querer volar lejos, mientras al cielo miraba, todavía recordaba cuando duro trabajaba. Y un derrame en su cerebro no lo dejó hacer más nada. Me comenzó a aconsejar, aunque pensar le costaba. Dijo que su juventud fue como un cuento de hadas. Para un cuervo de caer el tiempo se necesita. Hasta la rosa más hermosa con el tiempo se marchita.
Hello, here are my reasonings for why humans are the most embarrassing animal on the planet Earth. First and foremost, we are nocturnal. I find it extremely embarrassing that we invented string theory and microwaves, yet we go and hide in cubbies when the big old sun goes away. All of us, we just hide and close our eyes and wait for the next day to come. It's embarrassing. We also have to wear shoes, which is, I don't even want to look an animal in the eye while I do this. Every other animal, every other creature is just raw dog in the earth, and we look like fucking assholes because our soft little feet can't handle some pebbles. It's embarrassing. It makes me sick. And last but certainly not least, the fact that we were all babies at one point is toe-curlingly embarrassing. All of us were temporary full-blown morons at one point to a shocking degree. I don't know how we survive as a species with how fucking worthless these little fucking things are. Leave them unattended for more than 5 minutes, dead. Lay them down the wrong way, dead. Other animals fall out the badussi and they're strutting around eating berries and shit. What happened?
¿En qué momento regresamos el tiempo? O sea, este video se hizo muy viral a inicios de año. Hasta hice un video meme al respecto. Pero bueno, nunca está de más retomar la información. El animal del video es un cangrejo cacerola. Tiene distintos nombres, todos son válidos, ¿ok? Pero el que nos importa es el nombre científico. Estos cangrejos del género Limulus se distribuyen principalmente en el Atlántico Norte. Se les considera también fósil viviente porque han existido durante miles de años en el planeta sin tener tantos cambios. Curiosamente están en peligro de extinción por nuestra culpa, vaya qué sorpresa, ya que durante mucho tiempo se utilizó su sangre, la cual es de color azul. Esto se debe a que tienen cobre en lugar de hierro como nosotros. Su sangre se utilizó durante mucho tiempo en la industria farmacéutica para revisar que medicamentos no estuvieran infectados con endotoxinas de algunas bacterias potencialmente peligrosas. Afortunadamente ya existen otras pruebas que no necesitan sangre de estos animales. Así que si en algún momento te tuvieron que internar a ti o a un familiar y te dieron medicamento intravenoso, tienes bastante que agradecerle a estos animales. ¡Respeto!